Hello, everybody. I never thought I'd get to this point, you know, dating a cannibal, but here we are. Oh, and I just noticed my cursor's a knife, which is nice. A bit too loud. Okay, let's start. It's srpelo. That's hilarious. Oh. Hues of pink and blue dance in the sky as streaks of sunlight peek through the clouds. The moving truck you rented is finally driving off. A few of your boxes left sitting on the sidewalk beside you. Moving alone is no easy task. Wishing you had a friend to help you, you hold the rest of the boxes inside and set them down in a nearby closet. Your new home looks barren, just barely made habitable by the furniture you've managed to drag through the door. Now that your stuff is situated, you're aching for a break. Exiting your new home, you trail down the sidewalk. It's lighter out now, though the sun remains hidden by wispy clouds. Oh, a missing poster. A newspaper lands abruptly at your feet, stopping you in your tracks. It's nearly smudged beyond recognition. Despite the weathered state of the page, you attempt to read it. On January 2nd, yet another person was declared missing. Eyewitnesses report the individual having last been seen at the newly reopened family restaurant. Missing? Before you have time to finish reading the concerning headline, an autumn breeze sweeps it away, the cold air nipping fiercely at your skin. You can't help but shiver at the sensation. Maybe it would have been smart to wear a natural coat today. Is that what we look like? Interesting. Your walk continues, albeit with a quickened pace thanks to this newly gained information. The quiet doesn't last long, as you hear the faint rumbling of a car engine steadily growing louder. It's a cop car. Fuck, don't hit me! You turn as the vehicle abruptly screeches to a halt beside you. Oh, it's not the cops I like. I know that's based, but like... If the discomfort of the biting chill wasn't enough, the car doors quickly burst open. Two police officers get out of the vehicle, chattering amongst themselves as they approach you. Great. Once the officers come closer, it becomes apparent that neither of them wear a badge. Their bare-bones blue uniforms at least help to distinguish them from normal citizens.
You there! Excuse me! I've got some questions to ask.
Okay. To call this sudden would be an understatement. Is this about that time you stole a candy bar, or you were just a kid? Also, I like the voice acting in this. It's perfect. Yeah, is there something you need? Shit!
Know about the disappearances in this town. You're not the kidnapper, are you?
No, I just moved here. The officer's tirade is cut off when their partner, already looking completely fed up with the situation, slaps them on the back of the head. Disappearances? Kidnapper? That was enough to make anyone's heart rate spike. Before the panic sets in too much, the other officer speaks up in a calmer, more soothing voice.
Sorry about my partner there. They can get a bit intense around people, especially given everything that's been happening.
It's okay. I guess I would be pretty high-strung too with all that's going on. The cop awkwardly scratches the back of his head.
Yeah. And with things being so rough, we have to be extra careful. So, I'm gonna need to see some ID.
And make it snappy!
Shush.
I haven't got my ID, sorry. Both officers look perplexedly at you. Before their confusion can turn to suspicion, you speak again. I just moved here, that's why. I can still give you my information. My name is... Okay. No. I'm gonna still go with Millie. It just sounds like if Bob had a girlfriend, that would be what it would sound like. And even then, I'm not really a girl... Let's just get on with it. The policeman lowers his glasses, grinning at you over the tinted frames.
Sounds good. I'll keep that in mind, pal.
By the way, I prefer to go by... she, her.
I see. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, you're welcome, pronoun police. The shorter officer looks you up and down as you speak, visibly trying to memorize your appearance.
Since you're apparently new around here, I'll give you this bit of advice. Be careful. My partner wasn't joking when they said people have been going missing.
We've got our eyes on you, buckaroo. If we hear you've tried any funny business, we're reporting you to the chief right away.
Oh no, we shouldn't pass the case to him. He's grumpy enough as it is.
We won't have to if the newbie behaves.
Without another word, the policemen hop back into their vehicle. The tires squeal a shrill tune when the car tears off down the road, leaving you in a cloud of dust. Coughing as the car disappears into the distance, you're a bit shaken by the confrontation. Wow. I've been here for less than a day and I'm already getting profiled. To add on to everything else, your empty stomach is growling insistently. Unpacking took longer than expected, leaving no time for breakfast. It's safe to say you're starving. Maybe I should get something to eat before I head home. Your brow furrows as you wonder what places are open within walking distance. Before you can begin your journey to hunt down a food spot, the sound of excited chatter catches your attention. You come to a halt in front of a large glass window. Curing meats hang on display, and just past it you can see a bunch of happy patrons. Burgers, but they're probably cheap and filling enough. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. There he is. With renewed enthusiasm, you push the glass door open as a bell jingles cheerfully from above. Upon entering, you're pleasantly greeted with a warm and aromatic atmosphere. Various people sit in the diner, making small talk and enjoying their food. Like clockwork, their chatter is drowned out by a voice calling out from further in the building.
Just a minute, please. I'll be with you shortly.
There's his voice. That's what I'm talking about. The light southern accent mixed with his deep tone sounds like butter, savory and smooth. The man it belongs to has a big toothy grin. It almost seems too big to be genuine. Yet here he stands, happily taking orders and humming a soft tune to himself. A badge is pinned to his chest, proudly displaying his name. Bob.
Sorry about that. What can I get for you?
His over-the-top smile brings chills down your spine. You ignore it as best you can while you take a moment to properly browse the menu. How about Bob's Special? You hesitantly point... Did I get an achievement made with love? You hesitantly point to your menu item of choice. Having a small notepad already out, the employee nods and jots down your order before casting his gaze back toward you. Your heart skips a beat listening to him speak.
Sure. No problem, darling. Anything else?
The nickname rolls effortlessly off his tongue. He already has me in his sights. Am I just good at this or something? Heat rises in your cheeks, making you sputter in response as you try to think of anything other than the impromptu endearment. Loco-Cola. Yeah, that's everything. The last sentence came out much quieter than you had intended. The employee's eyebrows raise, his expression unreadable for a fleeting moment. That face, though. Suddenly he squints and his smile widens before he bursts into a hearty laugh. You give him a smile in return. His laughter soon subsides, but its warmth remains.
Say, I ain't never seen you here before. You new in town?
You lean against one of the bar stools, humming to yourself in thought before settling your arms on the cool marble counter. What if I am?
And that's great. The town's always been too quiet for my taste.
He's so friendly for a killer. I guess that's the point, though.
It'll be nice to have someone around who can shake things up.
Oh, I'll shake things up, bud. I'll try not to let you down. Anyway, I got here this morning and was feeling too lazy to cook, so here I am.
Well then, nice to meet you. It ain't often people come around these parts.
He hesitates, looking as though he wants to say more.
Your food will be done in a sec. Why don't you take a seat? After all, you must be tired.
Hang on. There. Maybe you can hear him now. He looks nice enough, maybe even someone you'd want to get to know more. Your thoughts are cut short when you realize you're still standing at the front. Yeah, you're right, I'll go, but thank you for being so nice to me.
Of course.
You smile to yourself as you push away from the counter, leaving to find an empty booth close by. You sit down at a corner booth, idly observing the table setting. Salt and pepper shakers, an old napkin dispenser, and a laminated menu fail to catch your interest. There's also some dull scratches along the surface of the booth. You squint slightly, trying to make out some sort of faded writing, only snapping back to attention when a plate of food is set down in front of you.
Here you go, hon.
Thanks.
While I'm here, you need anything else?
Well, I wanted to apologize for earlier, taking so long to order. I didn't mean to hold up the line like that. Bob waves dismissively. His demeanor seems unshakable, even when sheer awkwardness is staring him dead in the face.
Think nothing of it, sweetheart. I've seen folks take much longer to buy a white glass.
Oh, really? Okay. When he finally turns from you and walks away, you can hear him humming a tune to himself. He's in a good mood. That's good. It's unrecognizable to you and barely audible beneath the music playing from the diner's speakers. Maybe you'll get a chance to ask him about it soon. With a sigh of resignation, you grab your burger with one hand and check your phone with the other. Oh, cool. No new messages. Oh, a smile? Where'd that come from? Nobody's checked up on you since you moved away. Your family has given you very little apart from radio silence and some pocket change. Some family. Even though it's pretty discouraging, at least you're starting to connect with people here. Maybe this is where you can start fresh. You slide your phone into your pocket and stand up from your booth, waving goodbye to the cashier. Upon exiting the diner, you're instantly met with a cold gust of wind that spreads goosebumps down your arms. Once you check the time on your phone, the display confirms it to be late afternoon. You start walking at a brisk pace, feeling full of food and ready to explore. Dozens of nondescript stores line the street, none of them capturing your interest. At one point, you even end up passing by the police station and mentally note its location. As you're marching down the sidewalk, you spot a colorful building. Pictures of delicious sweets cover the windows. I think we're about to see Kevin soon. Beckoned by the call of tantalizing treats, you start approaching the door. Unfortunately, mere seconds before you open it, a group of teens rush out. They slam into you, nearly knocking you to the ground in the process. Heaps of candy spill from their hands and bags. Hey, it's Hats and the gang. The Hats gang. The shortest one recovers first, glaring up at you as his friends frantically salvage her fallen candy.
Hey, watch it!
Watch yourself, you little jackass. Another boy, this one wearing a beanie, shushes him before politely addressing you.
Sorry about that. We gotta go.
Quickly gesturing to his friends, the group grabs what remains of the candy before running off. You blink, staring at the dust cloud the group has kicked up in their wake. What was all that about? You shrug off the encounter. As you push open the door, you smell an intoxicating aroma of sugar. What the? As you enter, you see an employee frantically sweeping a candy-littered floor. She twitches at the sound of the door closing behind you and looks at you with wide, worried eyes. After a moment, she seems to calm down.
Welcome to the Candy Club. My name is Kelsey. How may I help you?
Oh. Female version of Kevin. That's interesting. Kelsey, nice to meet you. Do you need help? This place looks trashed.
Oh, no. I'm fine. Silly me, left the store unattended. Again.
You probably shouldn't do that because you might get fired.
I stepped outside for a smoke break that I had no business taking. Then boom.
Yeah, that happens.
Disaster strikes.
She sighs, sullenly looking down at the floor.
The This is the third time this month those brats stole candy.
The candy on the floor looks suspiciously similar to the treats you'd seen in those teens' hands. It's safe to assume the poor clerk had just been robbed, and you watched the perpetrators get away. I can help clean up if you want, or I can pay for whatever they stole. I don't have much, though. I've made a good impression on Kelsey just by being me. Kelsey's eyes light up. She grips the broom tightly, beaming with newfound gratitude.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't believe you'd do something like that.
I'm a nice person. You help collect the wasted candy and deposit it into the trash while Kelsey restocks what was stolen. With some time and elbow grease, the floor looks spick and span. I guess you should pay for that candy now.
You really don't have to do that. I'll just put it on their tab.
They have a tab?
One of their moms always pays for what they steal. She's a real handful.
She's a B word. I don't like her. Well, I'd still feel bad if I came here and didn't get anything. Instead, you pluck a bag of mixed candy off of a nearby shelf. Various wrapped chocolates and toffees rattle inside as you place the package on the counter. Kelsey drops her broom. Letting it clatter to the floor, she quickly ducks behind the register to ring up your purchase.
And will that be all?
She lowers her voice secretively.
You don't have to buy anything more. It's just the store's policy to say that every time.
Your eyes scan a selection of sweets before honing in on a couple more cheap bags that you can get. Score. I'll take 2 bags of those candies, please. I can't pass up a good sale. Kelsey laughs while snagging 2 of the bags.
You and another customer of mine. He always likes buying these in full.
I wonder who you're talking about. As her voice trails off, she seems to get a bit nervous. Regardless, she shakes it off and tells you how much you owe. Passing the money over, you speak in a low, soft voice. You're not sure if she's even allowed to keep tips. Keep the change. The money falls out of Kelsey's hand and her arms goes limp, mouth dropping open as she stares at you. Are you okay?
Yeah, totally. Perfectly fine. And,
Her smile becomes smaller, more genuine.
Thank you.
No problem. As your interaction with the cashier comes to a halt, you take one final look around the store. You absolutely have to come back in the future. The collection of sweets is super impressive, and... Wait. Yeah, I see a doll over there. Something doesn't feel right. Your eyes dart back to the windows at the front of the building, allowing you to just barely catch a glimpse of the silhouettes, moving beyond the pain. Oh my god. Oh no, these guys are in it? Oh. Cultists give me the chills. A formation of fleeting figures is the only thing you can really make out before they vanish from sight. Taking a couple steps away from the cash register and closer to the window, your eyes narrow as you try to figure out where they went.
Hey, are you okay?
Still unsettled, you whirl around to face her. Yeah, I just... What? Kelsey clings to the counter, startled by the sudden alarm. This time, the sudden noise causes you both to jump. Before you get the chance to ask Kelsey what the beeping was, she starts ushering you toward the back door. She even goes so far as to snag her previously discarded broom to shoo you away. Hey, what the...
Quick, you have to go before my coworker finds out I was slacking off. And I have to finish cleaning that mess.
Coworker, huh? Her borderline rambling, mixed with the occasional pokes of the broom, make it impossible for you to get a word in edgewise. Wow. Before you know it, you're shoved out into the alleyway. The sugar is a lie. The back door slams shut behind you, and you can faintly hear Kelsey call out to you from the other side.
Sorry, and it was nice meeting you. Take care!
Your boss sounds like an asshole. What a rushed conversation. That cashier might actually have been more high-strung than the police. Now alone in the dingy back street, you look up and spot the darkening sky above you. Time definitely got away from you while you were talking to Kelsey, and it's best to get home before it gets too dark out. Navigating your way out of the literal maze of roads is a real challenge, but eventually you make your way back home. I got a nice home. The stars twinkle above you as you stumble inside, drained by the eventful day. With exhaustion at the forefront of your mind, you quickly make your way towards your bed. You're out like a light before your head can hit the pillow. But your sleep is by no means a dreamless one. A vast expanse lay stretched out before you. Grasses and weeds seem to writhe and curl beneath your feet, never slowing, never stopping. The ground feels unstable, the sky somehow off. Chancing a glance upwards is like staring off into a yawning abyss, a chasm occupied by countless and fathomless things. Is that the entity? That world up there is far beyond the world down here, but echoes of it still sing a droning melody to you. It's beautiful. A sense of loneliness persists, but you're not alone. Surely not, in a place as large as this. Right? Wait. What's... These stars are way different from the usual constellations found littering the astral realm. The longer you look at them, the more you realize they're an odd shade of blue. Far beyond whatever you are now, a monolithic mountain range blocks your way. Even if you had the mind to see where this path leads, it would take forever to make it anywhere. And who knows what's hiding in those hills. Are you sure you want to keep looking at the stars? No. I'm good. Veiling the ground, a thick fog spreads far into the mountains. Where's it coming from? Every gasp per breath is shallow. You're starting to get dizzy. Okay, let's keep looking at the stars. I don't think this is a great idea. Sorry, Lovecraft, I didn't mean to wake you up. Novus Famulus. Cthulhu. A sudden breeze whips through the field, causing the grass to rattle in an ominous chorus. The silent chill that follows pierces through your skin and into your very bones. The night is peaceful, but its bitterness is unrelenting. Your eyes flutter a little. Endless quiet engulfs your senses. The desire for sleep is hard to overcome. Laying down on the soft grass and staring into nothingness, it's a nice way to go. Go? A cluster of stars above twinkle merrily at your plight. They whisper to one another, giggling and looking at you all the while. You look back at them, determining how you will respond. Okay, hello. Nice to meet you. This is very, hands-on. I don't know if this is the way to decipher it. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Okay, I don't know what he's saying, but I will say something nice to him. Stars... Hang on. Stars are... pretty. Your conversation seems to stretch out onto infinity. Keeping track of your own words becomes a long-forgotten need. The world unravels around you as you slowly slip away into an impossibly deep sleep. Wakefulness doesn't come easily. It crawls back into your mind like a wounded animal, hesitant and weak. The world around you only appears as blurred shapes and contours before the finer details come back into focus. A bead of sweat runs down your face, burning hot yet feverishly cold. It feels like you're sick, But that can't be right. You were fine before going to bed. Your hands are littered by divots imprinted into your flesh. Judging by the hints of blood beneath your fingernails, this was your own doing. Did you have a nightmare? Could say that. No need to dwell on that. There are things you need to do today, right? You should get ready to go. Okay, cool. I like this. This is very interactive. Inside are a few knickknacks, mostly easy access stuff. A box of tissues, some paper clips, and a spare phone case. There's also a pair of earrings that you quickly put on. Thankfully, they're made of material you aren't allergic to. Okay. Everything in the house that's worth stealing is nested safely in here. This cabinet alone is responsible for half the keys on your keyring. That's because it contains your hats. Beanies of varying shades, clips, pins, and other headwear are all lined up in neat rows. You'd buy a set of foam heads to put them on, but there's not enough room. You take down your favorite accessory and put it on your head. Okay. It's just a normal photograph. Why are you so focused on this again? It's a little bunny staring at you judgmentally. Won't you have things better to do? A mannequin, fairly undressed. Okay, one more place. Don't have enough outfits. After a bit of digging, you find a clean pair of pants and a fine shirt. Sweet. See? It's nice to dig. Close them or leave them open? Let's leave them open. Flipping the bird. Okay, let's go. After you put together the most important pieces of your outfit and gotten your keys, you determine that you're ready to leave. Breakfast can be sorted out later. Sunlight embraces you as you step outside, momentarily blinding you at the same time. It takes a bit before your vision clears, forcing you to blink away the bright spots that take ages to fade. Now that you're finally out of the house, memories of locations and streets come flowing back. You can choose where to go more easily than yesterday. Oh? How about... This is about Bob. I'm not going to the police station anytime soon. Let's go to Boys and Grills first. Seeking some grounding normality from whatever it was you had dreamed about the night prior, you make your way over to Boys and Grills. The diner opens up before you as you slip inside. A consistent hum of low chatter fills your ears, coming from the crowd around you. Beyond the sea of social anxiety, you can hear the sound of Bob calling out orders as he works the grill. Now you need to figure out what to do to catch his attention. Maybe I can join the line. What should I do? This doesn't have any save states. I'm not going to embarrass him. I'm just going to join the line. Cutting in front of the other customers to try and flag Bob down is out of the question. Joining the line is the most polite thing to do. It'll be easier to get Bob's attention that way. Sliding in behind the last person in line, you patiently wait. And wait, and wait, and wait. The voice of the cashier snaps you out of your daze, making you jolt as the employee speaks to you.
Welcome to Boys and Grills. What can I do for you?
Sorry, I just need to...
Hey.
You lean around the confused employee, spotting Bob not too far away. It's like, yeah, get out of here, nerd. Waving to catch his attention, you frantically move your arm about in the hopes that he notices. Thankfully he does, before you make a fool out of yourself again.
It's great to see you again, darling.
This
What
poor
brings you
guy.
around here?
This poor guy. Oh, okay. You pause for a moment, arm no longer flailing, before summoning the courage to speak. I mean, we could chat, if it's not a bother, I mean. Despite your best efforts, a lack of certainty is evident in your voice. Bob looks fixedly at you for a moment before his face returns to his usual smile.
I'll tell you what. My break starts in about...
He trails off as he glances at the diner's clock.
10 minutes. I'll chat all you like then. Deal?
Sure, see you then. Bob returns to his spot by the grill. The time slowly ticks by as you watch the patrons finish their food, then trickle out of the door one by one. When about 5 minutes have passed, this people-watching session is interrupted by the approach of an employee. They wear a similar uniform to Bob, but a far different expression on their face.
Hey, you've been here for a hot minute. Can I get you anything or show you to a different seat? This booth is usually reserved for families.
Oh, sorry, I'm waiting on someone. It won't take long. You should be here in just a few minutes. The employee squints at you for a moment, then they shrug.
Right. Sorry for the trouble then. If you need anything, wave me over and I can take your order.
Without waiting for another response, the employee turns and walks off toward another occupied table. Thankfully, the rest of your wait is quite uneventful. Customers come and go in droves, but none of them try to initiate conversation. Some other employees spare you passing glances, but even they leave you alone. Once enough time has passed, you don't notice a shadow being cast over you until the man responsible for it waves awkwardly to get your attention.
Sorry for being late. I hope I didn't make you wait too long.
He waits for you to gesture that he's welcome to sit before he settles into the seat in front of you. He's polite.
The name's Bob, though I bet you could have figured that out by reading my nameplate.
He pauses before holding his hand out for you to shake. Shake his hand! I mean, this is supposed to be an introduction, right? I'm Millie. Nice to meet you. You return the handshake with some amount of vigor, a practice gesture used in quite a few past job interviews. It was never charming enough to land you the gig, but Bob appears more than satisfied by your show of politeness.
Pleased to meet you. The name sure suits a face like yours.
Damn. This compliment is just as surprising as it is flattering. Without a response ready, you fidget a little with your hands, muttering words of gratitude under your breath.
Anyways, you said you were new here? You been here long or what?
No, I actually moved in yesterday.
Really now?
You know, an affirmation. Once I got done unpacking, I thought it'd be a good idea to explore. After some wandering, well, I ended up here. Turns out this is the closest food joint to my house. Lucky me.
You don't say. A lot of customers have been turning up like that. Wanderers are great for business, but y'all sure can wear a fella out.
Bob rubs one of his eyes as he yawns, clearly exhausted from today's shift.
Speaking of which, anything catch your eye so far in this town?
That's a tough one to answer. But if I had to choose something that stood out to me so far, it would be... How about you? You give Bob a mischievous smile, leaning in slightly closer. If I had to pick, it'd be you.
Say again.
He blinks a few times, freezing in his seat. It looks as if he's misheard you. I think you're interesting.
Do you now?
A slow smile makes its way across Bob's face. He seems eager to respond to the opportunity he's been given.
A sweet thing like yourself ought to watch what you say around folks you've just met. That could be dangerous, you know.
Normally, this kind of response would make you laugh. Instead, you find yourself paying a bit more mind. The same could be said about me. He tilts his head in interest, staring for a moment too long before bursting into laughter.
You? I might as well be shaking in my boots. Give me a good scare, then we'll talk.
Got it. A lull in conversation soon follows after your words. The silence is by no means tense, but as Bob starts looking around the diner, you're made painfully aware that it needs to be filled somehow. Think, Millie, think. Hey, Bob, what's your favorite color? Wow, really pulling out all the stops here. Thankfully, Bob doesn't look too pressed about the quality of your icebreaker.
Oh, red for sure. It stands for danger, but also courage. What about yours?
I like red, too. I'm not a copycat. I do like red, at times.
Oh, same color as me.
And did you know that if red is your favorite color, it means you're driven and determined?
Really?
Yep, it even symbolizes passion and energy in many cultures.
Now you're just flattering.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not.
Do you know any other facts?
You point at Bob's apron. It's also proven to stimulate your appetite, so it's pretty good that you wear it considering what you do. He looks down at himself for a moment, seeming to need a bit of time to process what you mean.
Ah, what I do. I'd like to think it's the food itself that stimulates customers' appetites. But if some tricky color magic helps, then I ain't about to complain.
I was far from tricky magic. We're wired to respond strongly to red. You see it everywhere in nature, from venomous frogs to the blood running through our veins. So cool. Bob snickers at your enthusiasm.
Now that's an attitude I can get behind. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Another natural red robin yum. Another natural pause forms in the conversation. Perhaps Bob's in awe of your fantastical fun facts, or maybe he's just a bit bored. Either way, he speaks up once more after a beat of silence.
Say, what do you think about Halloween? It's personally my favorite holiday.
Oh, I love Halloween. I love Halloween. The decorations, the costumes, the trick-or-treating, haunted houses, all that stuff. Bob nods along in hearty agreement.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, if only the rest of the town celebrated it longer. As soon as Halloween's over, these folks get rid of their jack-o'-lanterns and rush to decorate the Christmas tree.
I know what you're talking about, because it's like everybody just completely forgets Thanksgiving's a thing, too. I feel that. It's like the decorations disappear as soon as November first hits. At least the candy goes on sale the next day. He brightens up a bit at the mention of candy.
Good point. It's the perfect chance to stock up on some sweets. But it's still a shame they skip right to Christmas.
I get it. Maybe we could celebrate Halloween together.
Oh, I might have to take you up on that. But what would the plans be?
Let's see. Costumes. What if we pick out our costumes together?
Costumes, you say?
Yes? At the mention of costumes, Bob's smile fades away. Did you say something wrong? Did I? That constant eye contact usually seems like a sign he's paying attention, but without his grin, it feels more like he's staring right through you. To help cope with the unease, you add yet another suggestion. Maybe we could match. In a sudden return to the form, he cackles a bit.
A big, fat, grown man in a costume. Sure, I doubt there are any costumes my size, though.
We can make you one. Bob seems to be taken by surprise.
What am I gonna be anyways? Frankenstein's monster?
You'll see when Halloween comes up.
Alright then, keep your secrets.
How about trick-or-treating?
Trick!
Wait, what?
You asked trick or treat, and I said trick.
I didn't. That's not how it works.
Then why'd you ask me?
I was asking a different question. Bob breaks down laughing at the exasperated look on your face. He chortles, wheezes, and even has to wipe the tears from his eyes before finally getting his laughter under control.
Oh, come on. I couldn't help but mess with you a bit. Jokes aside, only kids trick-or-treat here. Unless you like getting weird looks from folks. I've tried. Trust me. Once you reach a certain age, they just think you're trying to rob them.
You know, I don't think you ever grow out of trick-or-treating. That's just my personal opinion. How about haunted house or pumpkin carving? We could carve pumpkins together and see who can make the spookiest one.
I like a challenge. Though, my carving skills are unmatched.
Don't get too cocky.
I'm just being honest.
As another lull in conversation forms, you take a moment to stretch. Having sat down for so long makes your joints creak and groan, but movement is fairly effortless until pain. Without warning, a burning pain rips through the skin on your fingers. You let out a hiss, unthinkingly clenching your hands and reopening once forgotten lesions in the process.
Are you okay? Something wrong with your hands?
I just woke up with them like this.
You could have told me earlier instead of just sitting there in pain.
You're awfully concerned.
Here, I've got some bandage you can use.
Pulling a reddish bandage out of his pocket, he reaches out and carefully takes hold of your hand, treating it as though it were made of glass. His intense eyes scan the injuries, pupils dilating at the sight of your blood. Shit. Your breath briefly catches in your throat at both the surprising gesture and the piercing gaze directed your way. A chill rolls down your spine, goosebumps prickling the skin of your arms. Bob? The sound of your voice seems to snap him out of whatever daze he's in. Sorry. Didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Here, take it. You accept the bandage with a nod and put pressure on the worst of the gouges. Thankfully, the rest are far smaller and will heal in no time. That's okay. Thanks for this. I appreciate it. When you smile gratefully at him, the red hue in Bob's face seems to grow even stronger.
You're welcome, darling.
Shit, what? Bob yelps of surprise when the piercing sound of an air horn suddenly rings out from behind the register. What kind of restaurant are we in, dude? It brutally pierces through your quiet moment, leaving some of the diner's patrons wincing and covering their ears. You and Bob look to find the source of the racket, only to see the cashier waving frantically.
Break's over, Bob. Wrap it up and get back here.
Why did you have to embarrass him like that? You're on his hit list for sure. Bob, just kill him.
I'll be there in a bit. Just turn that damn thing off.
Shit. See, you shouldn't have done that. Bob shakes his head at the employee's interruption before pushing himself up from the seat.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I've taken up quite a bit of your time anyway.
Maybe so, but it ain't a bother. It's wonderful having someone like you to talk to.
Thanks, Bob. Since the feeling is mutual, I'll be sure to stop by more. He laughs before wiping his hands off on his apron.
You better.
You're left sitting there when Bob returns to the register and is instantly reintegrated into the hustle and bustle of the diner. After taking another look around the diner and noticing the horde of customers, you finally get up from your booth. Bob gives you a final nod of acknowledgement before you make it out to the door. Alright, oh, okay. Let's go to the candy club. Kelsey stands behind the counter. She blows off a puff of air as she stares off at the wall. Hey, how you been, Kelsey? She perks up when she hears your voice. Straightening her posture, her eyes sparkle as she sees you enter.
Oh, nice to see you again. I've been doing okay. Just tending to the shop as usual.
Silence rings as you both stare at each other. The conversation needs a topic. Oh, I need to bail her out of this. How was your day? Men so far. Kelsey looks up at you, shock written on her face.
I'm just very busy.
Kelsey winces a little as she breathes through her teeth.
You know, with keeping this place together and my personal life, it's a lot for a person to handle. I'm probably overworking myself.
Probably? You are. Take a break.
That's all. What about you? How have you been?
I'm fine. Just exploring this place a bit. I'm still new in town. One day doesn't change much. How long have you been here? She seems pleased that someone genuinely asked her about herself.
I've lived here my whole life. In the same house I grew up in. The rest of my family.
Kelsey pauses for a moment, somber glints in her eyes.
They moved away. It's no problem, though. I don't need pity. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Like I said, it's no problem.
Did those teens ever come back?
I'm surprised you remember that. No, they didn't. At least not during my shift.
That's good. Can't have them putting you out of business. You chuckle at your clever remark. Kelsey giggles as well.
I heard from a coworker that Roy's mom came by later and slammed a check on the counter as compensation.
Her words are cheekily whispered to you, like you're a special confidant. Which one was Roy again? I never caught their names.
Roy's the short one with the cap on. He's kinda the ringleader of the group.
Leader? He looks like he's in elementary school.
Maybe it's 'cause his parents spoil him rotten. The other kids are nicer.
Yeah, one of them apologized for running off. Hopefully they won't be committing crimes next time I see them.
I don't know much about them other than that. They usually hang around in their little gang, as they put it.
You want me to make them apologize to you?
Oh, no, that's okay. I'd rather it be them that steals things than some other crazy person.
If you say so, I'll keep an eye out for them anyway. After a moment's pause, your mind strays back to the disappearances you heard about. Can I ask you a weird question?
Sure. What is it?
Do you think this town is safe? Kelsey idly tugs at a strand of her hair.
I don't know what you mean by that. Of course this town is safe.
Well, apparently people have been going missing. I got pulled aside and interrogated by some cops. All because no one knew me. It's just a little worrying.
Oh, the kidnappings. Everyone calls them kidnappings. But it's not even official. The victims could just be going on a synchronized vacation for all we know.
She laughs awkwardly at her own joke before her smile softens in the face of your worry.
I've heard it's nothing major. This town hardly sees crime. Usually.
Yeah, and those are the kind of towns that usually have some crazy shit happen eventually.
We've got a great police force. Just forget about the time they arrested civilians for a week straight. No, that was pretty terrible. Who randomly arrests someone for saying their store is closed?
That's pretty bad. You rub your neck when you feel the tension in the shop weighing on you. Good thing I didn't move in that week, huh? Thankfully, Kelsey pauses her rant to giggle at your comment.
That's a good one. Well, maybe it's a good thing you showed up now.
She twists a ring in her finger, tone turning solemn as her gaze drops down to the countertop.
It's been a while since, a decent person came to the shop.
She looks like she wants to say more, but doesn't. Is that really the last option, how she slept? How did you sleep last night?
Oh? Well, I slept fine. Even with my dreams.
Dreams or nightmares?
No, not nightmares.
She looks uncertain.
It's a recurring dream I've been having for years. It's not scary, per se, but it's not pleasant.
Want to talk about it? Kelsey looks more nervous than before, twirling the gold ring on her finger. She fails to hold eye contact, instead looking at the walls of pink and white.
No, it's fine. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the dream is just bright. Blinding, even. It's been years. I still have no idea what to make of it.
That's an odd way to describe a dream. Bright, blinding? Why does that seem familiar? Dreams are weird. You can never tell what they're going to be, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
Kelsey pauses for a moment, taking a moment to look around the store. When she doesn't see a line behind you, she meets your gaze again.
Well, anyway, is there anything I can get you? Anything at all?
No question. I've been meaning to pick up some more stuff from here, but I'm not sure what to choose.
That's alright. Here, I'll show you what we have in stock for today.
Oh, okay. Cool. Skites. Taste the rainbow. Cringe. Bugs. Cop stoppers. Nutsack. I'll take skites. We have 18. I feel stupid. There we go. Got plenty. That'll be it for me. See ya, Kelsey.
Take care now. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, I'll go to the police station then. After what you saw through the Candy Club's window yesterday, you figure speaking to those policemen again is a smart idea after all. Being stalked is a good reason to make a report, so hopefully they won't be upset by your intrusion. Sleek, glassy buildings stretch far beyond the quiet street, the tinted windows mirroring yourself and the occasional car roaring past, reflecting off dark glass panes. After making a final turn, you notice a familiar police car parked in front of a tall, dark building with navy blue accent colors. Upon further inspection, there's someone sitting in the back of the vehicle. Whoever cuffed them seems to have forgotten something, or rather someone. As you step closer, the person in the back seat locks eyes with you, her expression full of fear. Help me. They look at you like a kicked puppy, silently begging for freedom. You quickly look around, checking to make sure there are no witnesses for the potential crime you're about to commit. Seeing that the coast is clear, you scooch over to the car door. Fumbling only the slightest bit, you yank it open and the person in the back, all but spills out. They let out a yelp as they fall toward the ground, but before they can slam it into it, you manage to catch them.
Yo!
No problem. Looks like you're still a little tied up. You gestured your handcuffs.
Huh? Oh, I forgot about those. It's okay, though. The Rizmeister keeps spare keys in the glove box. Snag 'em for me? I'm pretty pleased with extra cheese.
Rizmeister, what's this guy waffling about? They seem harmless, and they wouldn't have been left outside if they'd actually done anything bad, right? Fortunately, you find the keys after rummaging around, spotting them hidden away under some crumpled wrappers and receipts for a jolly meal. You slide out of the cop car, shutting the door behind you, and shuffle over to the still unnamed suspect. You might as well change that since you're now partners in crime.
Hey, you found him. Real dope moment there, pal. Now if you could just...
They wiggled their cuffed arms before smiling at you.
handle this? We can both get out of here. And take nuggies on me whenever you're free.
Tempting, but there's something I'm more interested in. The name of my new partner in crime. The letter relieved Sias' easygoing grin makes a comeback.
Wow, you had me spooked there. An out-of-season spook for poor little Entity. So scary.
You're an entity? You take the time to introduce yourself to Entity. Might as well let them know who you are so you can cash in on that offer of free nuggies. Unlocking the cuffs only takes a moment. They eagerly rub at their wrists. They didn't shut the handcuffs and gestured for you to give them the key. What are you planning on doing?
I figured I'd return them since I'm not using them.
Their tone is casual, borderline aloof. Looks like this might be a pretty regular routine for them. You shrug and pass them the cuffs. In no time they opened the car door, tossed items inside, shut it.
Thanks again for the help, dude. You're pretty cool.
You're welcome, and you too. They nod and flash you a grin.
Swag! Now I gotta scram before the Rizmeister and the Jolly Fry Boy find out you set me free. See you later.
Entity waves at you before slinking away. As they progress down the street and vanish from sight, you realize something. How are you supposed to get your free nuggies if you didn't know where to find them? They didn't give you a number, an address, or anything. Had you been scammed? Heartbroken over your nuggetless state, you turn your attention back to what you came here for. You can look for Entity another time. I don't need nuggets, I got Bob's Burgers. With the door now closing softly behind you, you find yourself face to face with a firearm pointing directly at you. Are you serious?
Put your hands up! You're under arrest!
Shit.
Just joking!
What the heck? You can't just point your gun at me.
After leveling a glare at his partner, the glasses-wearing officer decides to insert himself into the conversation.
Say, what was your name again?
That's Millie. Didn't I tell you yesterday?
I'm more of a nickname type of guy myself.
Two officers. The officer taps the brim of his hat as he gives you a smile.
But I won't forget your name again, Sugar Cube. And
Screw
that's
you.
on my oath as an officer.
You forgot it the first time. He totally just forgot your name again, didn't he? That reminds me, I don't think you've gotten a chance to introduce yourselves properly yet. There's no time like the present.
That's true. Most folks here call me Captain, but Shotgun Man here calls me Kappa.
Shotgun Man.
Shotgun Man! You'll be seeing that name in the papers soon. I've got the highest record for arrests in the whole police department.
And why is your name Shotgun Man? Is it on your birth certificate?
Wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I wish. My mom and pop could never come up with something that cool. I actually named myself.
Legally?
Once he found out folks were calling me Captain after my promotion, he thought we needed to match. To be honest, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you get to be called Captain since you're the captain. Chief is chief because he's the chief.
And you're called Shotgun Man because you're a total badass.
Okay, I miss Jack and John already.
I'm sorry about my partner. It's nice to see you. How have you been? What have you been up to?
All things considered, I'm doing fine. The two officers seem far less high-strung than they were yesterday. Perhaps it's safe to actually make proper small talk. I was watched. I was having a good day yesterday, but something strange happened at night. The policeman freezed, her posture becoming rigid. You continue to talk. While out and about, I noticed something watching me. I'm probably just paranoid, but I thought you two should know. A look of dread looms over them, one of them clearing their throat before managing to find the right words.
Did you see what they looked like?
You what? What are you thinking? Going alone to dangerous places when there's trouble afoot? Make a friend and bring them with you, so you've got a safety buddy.
Calm down.
I swear to God, this friggin' shotgun is gonna be the friggin' death of me.
Captain turns to glare at the other, mumbling a quiet curse to himself before quickly turning back towards you.
They're just worried about you, pal. You're not in any danger, just on edge like the rest of us. Listen, if you ever get an actual description of what this something looks like, come back and file a report as soon as you can. Until then, there's not much we can do but offer obvious advice.
I kinda know what they look like already, though. While being able to make a report would be nice, you'd have to be close enough to see any details. Pfft, dangerously close, and yep, I had details, but this person didn't. I'll have to decide if it's worth the risk. I went to the candy store and ended up witnessing a crime.
Huh? And you didn't report this? Go to the front desk to submit a witness report as soon as you can.
Yeah, so we can find out who did it and cuff them.
I mean, I don't know how comfortable you'd feel arresting some kids. Remember boisterous of the pair laughs and slaps a fist against his chest.
Kids? No problem. No one's above the law.
His partner slaps the back of his head and ignores the pained yelp he lets out.
Let me guess. A trio of punk teens stealing candy.
Actually, yeah. I take it you're familiar with them?
Unfortunately.
I assume that means they've been caught before, then.
Caught? Caught? Those rascals are the furthest thing from slick. Of course they got caught.
But anytime they get booked, their parents swoop in and chastise us. Since they're so young, we've got no choice but to release them after an hour or two tops.
Discipline is important. A little arrest never hurt anybody. Sometime in the slammer would scare them straight. ASAP.
Yesterday I went to this place called Boys and Grills. I wasn't expecting to luck out so much on my first day here, but they've got great stuff.
I just love their food. The fries are my favorite. The owner is a little scary, though. He's too tall.
Maybe you're just too short.
Scary? Who's the owner, then?
He's hard to miss. Big guy with an even bigger smile. Usually wears a cook's uniform. Never seen without the cap on during work hours.
He's a noir, too. Can't forget that.
Kappa? What the hell is a noir?
Is it not obvious? Someone with black hair. Blonde, brunette, noir.
That makes no sense. Just say he has black hair. You don't have to speak French about it.
What can I say? I'm a man of palpable prose.
You're a pain in my ass is what you are.
While the bickering continues, you're given a moment to consider what you've been told. Big guy with an even bigger smile, fry cook's uniform, or noir, whatever that means. Based on these descriptions, it's easy to see that Shotgun Man is referring to Bob. Maybe he's not so friendly to everyone he meets and you're a special case. Or maybe you're just making vast leaps in logic. You've only known him for a day or so after all. So I finished unpacking and wandered around, but that's about it.
That's understandable. I wouldn't do much if I didn't have friends either.
They don't mean that. Although I do hope you have someone to spend time with. If not, well...
He winks, gesturing to the rest of the police station behind him.
You know where I'll be.
Shut up. Spending time with me, huh? You offering to be my bodyguard?
Legally, I'm not allowed to agree to that statement. But I'm not disagreeing either. Getting a grand tour for the best cop in town? Your safety is more than guaranteed.
Cops! Plural!
Huh?
You didn't really think I'd let you waltz around with a potential criminal, right? Fat chance!
Shotgun Man pouts at his partner before outright frowning at you.
Either we're both showing you around,
Yuck, never mind. You usually shake your head, making it clear you're not interested. No thanks, exploring my own has worked just fine so far.
Really? I mean, if you insist.
Let 'em be, Kappa. If they want to wander around and get caught by some evil kidnapper, so be it.
I can defend myself just fine, you know.
We'll see about that when the time comes. Don't say I didn't warn you when you're phoning the feds because you need a hero.
Don't be rude. Being new doesn't mean they're totally helpless. If you change your mind, don't hesitate to let us know. Like I said, we usually hang out here when we're not on patrol.
Let's just hope the next time you see us, we won't be putting you behind bars.
And don't worry about Shotgun Man. He's all bark, no bite.
I'm all blam and no bite, baby.
Get that out of my face. The policeman paused for a moment as Captain looks expectantly at his partner.
Hey, by the way,
Shotgun Man seems sheepish as he shifts uneasily in place.
sorry about yesterday. I know Kappa already apologized, but maybe you're not as much of a criminal as I thought you were. Still got my eye on you, though. So, no funny business. Got it?
Captain looks amused by his partner's attempt at an apology.
It's been nice having a proper visitor around the station. Feel free to drop by anytime. If you need help,
Or if you spot criminals out there, you help us out, and we'll return the favor. Capiche?
Alright, I understand. The offer's an interesting one, though. You may or may not accept it. The two officers seem relatively harmless, but it doesn't mean things can't take a turn later on. Hopefully you're free of any more spooky encounters. As the conversation with the cops reaches its conclusion, you depart from the duo with a wave and the promise to chat again in the future. Stepping outside, you're briefly blinded by the slowly setting sun. The sound is bathed in rays of glittering gold and radiant red. For as beautiful as the sight is, a sinking feeling settles in your stomach as you recall the words of the officers from the day prior. Missing people, potential murders or kidnappings. Perhaps it would be best if you avoid staying out too late, just in case anything might happen. Hastily walking away from boys and grills, you rush through the streets and make your way back to your home. Your eyes flicker from side to side, watching as the encroaching shadows steadily draw closer. By the time you finally remember to look in front of you, it's already far too late to stop yourself from bumping into the person that suddenly appears before you. Wham! Dazed, you fall to the ground and scrape your hands against the pavement. Old wounds are reopened and stinging pain shoots up your arm before the sound of a familiar voice soothes it away.
Nice running into you again. But you didn't need to make it so literal.
Bob sounds a bit more tired than earlier, probably due to working all day. He holds out a calloused hand for you to take, giving you the option to accept it or not. I'm gonna take his hand. I like him. You accept it, feeling the rough palm beneath your fingertips before carefully being pulled upwards. The warmth of his hand seeps into you as he sets you back on your feet.
Sorry about that. I hope your landing wasn't too rough.
Nah.
That looked like quite the fall there. Anything else need patching up?
I don't think so. While your palms still sting, they aren't actively bleeding, and the bandage you got from Bob earlier is still holding on. Why do you still have some on you? You still have some on you?
Maybe. But if I keep bumping into you like this, I'll need to invest in some more. Being a klutz is a dangerous habit.
Yeah, it is. While the conversation briefly captures your attention, the shadows encroaching around you serve as a good reminder as to why you were rushing home in the first place. That's sweet, but hopefully I won't need them. Anyways, I have to head home since it's getting late.
Well, I could tag along if you want. I'll probably be staying out for a bit anyways.
Staying out at this hour when people go missing? You're strangely at ease about being out late, although it almost makes sense. Bob is a local and knows how to get around. Meanwhile, this is your only second day in town and you barely know the main streets. Yeah. It would be nice to have some company and you'd get to talk with him some more. You can always ask him some questions about the town. The butcher draws closer to your side, his shadow briefly overlapping yours, thanks to the setting of the sun. His pace slows to match yours as he lumbers along beside you. Initially, you're both quiet as you walk together, but you decide to strike up a conversation just in case things get awkward. So... Oh no, things are already awkward. Fortunately... The sound of Bob's laughter breaks up the silence. His amusement is infectious.
I'm surprised to see you again so soon.
Surprised in a good way or a bad way?
A good way, of course. I enjoyed our chat earlier, and I was hoping I'd get to speak to you again.
Same goes for you, but I have more questions to ask about the town, and maybe some other stuff if that's alright. Bob nods. Anything special going on soon? I'm curious whether anything special happens around here. You know, like festivals or fairs?
Halloween's always the biggest draw around here. All sorts of folks participate, adults and kids. And yours truly, of course. The promise of candy brings most people out, and while I don't blame them, I do think there's something far more important than candy. Something really worth celebrating.
Bob pauses before leaning closer to you, looming above you thanks to the height difference between the two of you.
Fear.
Indeed.
Halloween's a time when the lines between the natural and supernatural are blurred. Lingering spirits roam the streets, haunting whoever crosses their paths, and all other kinds of ghouls stir up trouble wherever they can.
He grows quiet once more and seems to be deep in thought. After a moment, he chuckles and shakes his head.
Did you know one of the main reasons why people love celebrating Halloween is because they love to feel fear? Some use it to get all cozy with what scares them. Others embrace the terror they feel. It's a pretty complicated holiday, but that's what I love about it.
Certainly sounds like quite the event with how he had described it, and perhaps that can be something for you to look forward to as well.
There's also some local events every so often. Festivals, little street fairs, and the like. I think one might be happening soon. Although, I can't remember the date.
You make a mental note of this. Maybe that's something you'd be able to do in the future. And you figure it out when it's happening, of course. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'd love to see what this place is like on Halloween.
Well, it certainly gets crazy.
So, I hope the customers were nice to you after I left. It looked pretty hectic in there.
You don't have to worry about it. I've never tolerated folks with nasty attitudes hanging around. And I never will.
Even with the smile present on his face, there's an air of something else radiating off him. Perhaps it's some sort of passive aggressiveness from years in the service industry. Oh, that's good to hear. Sensing the change in your tone, Bob sighs and sends a more genuine smile your way. So I really enjoyed the food at your diner.
And I'm glad you do. Everyone at Boys and Grills does their best to serve top-notch food, alongside top-notch service.
He's beaming, chest puffed with pride as he talks about the diner. Though you haven't known him for long, it's obvious he's proud of Boys and Grills' reputation. Which makes the exact nature of your question all the more heartbreaking. And I was kind of curious if you knew about anywhere else to eat. Immediately he wilts. Why would you make me ask that? That spark of joy promptly extinguished by the brutality of your question. Slumping forward and staring at the ground, several moments of pure silence pass before Bob finally speaks up.
But my food's the best. You don't need to know about anywhere else.
Oh, he's sulking. But Bob, what about the diversified dietary options? I can't live off of burgers forever. Your objections only seem to make Bob more disgruntled. Each word you speak causes his brow to furrow, and his arms cross defensively as he kicks at the pavement beneath him. Every so often he glances over at you, seeing you still staring up at him. His tense posture begins to soften and come undone under the weight of your gaze. With a grumble of extreme reluctance, he finally answers your question.
There is another place that just opened up. A pizzeria or something. They think they're so special with their fancy dancing robots.
FNAF reference.
You can't hide your garbage food using cheap gimmicks like that. It just ain't right.
As this tirade continues, you notice that his eyes seem to have taken on a cyan hue. It looks like you might have made a mistake by asking that question. Wanting to hopefully brighten his mood, you decide to change the topic to something more lighthearted. So I've noticed you hum a lot, and it's always a specific tune. Is there a story behind that? The distress in his eyes seems to vanish as he thinks about your question. Although his smile is still absent, he looks less upset than he previously was.
It's a favorite song of mine. A catchy tune. Although, most folks at Boys and Grills don't like when I sing it too much.
The conversation seems to come to a halt at this point, both you and Bob falling silent. By the way, I'm sorry about...
Don't worry about it. You shouldn't have something that ain't good enough for you. Diversifying food is great and all, but don't forget about the importance of quality eating.
Perhaps it's a trick of the light, but you swear you can see a bit of drool leaking out of the corner of his mouth. You don't get the chance to mention it before a quick wave of his hand wipes it away.
We wouldn't want you getting sick from the garbage they serve around here.
As his voice trails off, he sighs and shakes his head. Thankfully, that intense look in his eyes is now fully gone as he gazes at you. Unfortunately, your conversation is forced to come to a halt as you find yourself and Bob in front of your house. Looking over at your temporary companion, you smile at him. Thanks for walking me back to my place. I really appreciate it.
It's no problem. Wouldn't want you getting lost or anything. I don't want to lose my newest customer after all.
His words are punctuated by a wink.
Or a potential friend. Sweet dreams, darling.
You've made a good impression on Bob. That's good. You wave as he walks away, streetlights flickering on as Bob passes by them. Faintly, you can hear him humming that same strangely familiar tune you had previously spoken about. Worn out by your long day spent out in town, you slowly open your front door and step inside. The darkness from outside follows you as you enter your home. You leave the front door open and allow the rays of moonlight to illuminate the room. Strange, it seems as though you had forgotten to leave a light or two on before heading out earlier. You close the door, the sound of it shutting echoing around you. Keeping a hand on the wall, you make your way over to where you recall the light switch being. Flip it. No lights. Flip it again. Despite your failed attempts, you flick the switch a couple more times and get nothing in response. Did the power go out earlier? Is that why the lights aren't working? But the street lights outside were on, so why in the world is there no electricity? Has someone cut the power? Is someone in the house? The sudden intrusive thought shoots through you. It mixes with your memories of popular horror movie tropes, especially ones that make people scream at the screen in frustration. And I'm one of them. This isn't good. You shake your head to rid yourself of the encroaching paranoia. It's just a dark room, you'll be fine. You pull out your phone and check the battery. It's low, but enough for you to use the flashlight for just a little while. Maybe you can get to the bottom of this. Oh, shit. The silhouette of the lamp beckons you with the promise of an extra light source. Make your way over to it, carefully holding a hand out in front of you so you don't bump into anything in the dark. Soon enough, your hand makes contact with the cool, clammy base of the lamp. Your fingers skim the surface as you try to find a switch to turn it on. Actually, does your lamp have a switch? Using your phone, you scouted for any sign of a switch or a cord to pull. Even with the extra visibility, you can't find anything to turn the lamp on with. No new source of light for you. Damn it. Run your hand on the side of the lamp, fumbling around for the switch. For a second, you think you see the light flicker, but it doesn't turn on. You click it again. Nothing. Seems as though the power really is out. Power outlets don't indicate what exactly made the power go out, do they? Well, it doesn't hurt to check. You lean down and stare at it, squinting through the darkness. What the hell? What was that? What is going on? You don't remember standing back up. Blackout intensifies to soft moonlight. Curtains are open just enough to let it shine a little through. Light isn't strong, illuminating in particular. Shit. I'm freaked out. Hello? Someone there? No response is uttered by the watchful shape. After standing there like a fool for quite some time, you wonder what to do about it. Keep away. Darkness dances around the figure, picking up speed as you step uneasily away from it. The thing itself remains still, watching, waiting. If you ignore it, maybe it'll leave. There's so many FNAF references. Your makeshift flashlight skims over the books. While reading in the dark can be pretty fun, now it's not the best time. Okay. Nothing's working. Okay, I gotta find a way to either get the electricity back on, or... Getting rest feels impossible. Despite your tired state, anxiety continues to eat away at you. Even being troubled feels exhausting, and your eyelids begin to grow heavy as your consciousness fades to black. When you come to, you're met with a familiar plague of darkness swallowing your room. Trying to remember your dream, if you had had one, that it has proved to be an impossible task. You pull out your phone and check the time. Only an hour or so has passed since you lay down, so much for good rest. The roof of your mouth is dry and your body is uncomfortably hot. It's an irritable feeling, to say the least. Maybe a short walk is what you need. The quietude of your new neighborhood is inviting, even if the darkness makes it hard to see. The silence you're met with is calming. With only your thoughts to keep you company, you attempt to clear your head. Your attempts are so intense that you nearly miss a glimpse of something moving out of the corner of your eye. The silhouette of a person hiding just out of sight. Curiosity gets the better of you, foresight forgotten with the breeze hitting your cheeks. The red sweater you're wearing is startlingly vibrant in the darkness, and you're hit with a sudden urge to touch it. Beckoned by the fabric, you take one final step closer and approach the building's corner. Oh. You hesitate for just a moment. Perhaps this isn't the best idea. Hey. Bob. Easy. Hey. 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 It's just me. It's just me, Bob. It's just me. You remember me, don't you? Yes. Yes, you remember me. Come on, buddy, you remember me. It's a cliche to say, but in that swift moment, your life flashes before your eyes. Time slows as you consider your options. There has to be something you can do. Oh my god. Are you serious? Just hold still. Your body is rigid against his, a strong grip tarnishing any chance at getting away. Seconds drawn for it feels like minutes, all while you stand in place like a deer in headlights silently plotting to be let go. In a mere moment, the Red Devil has reduced you to easy prey. Don't kill me, Bob. Please. You know me. Even after he's pushed you away, the sensation of his blade against your neck lingers. You know me. A breathy chuckle fills the air, the devil looming over you with a mouth-watering grin as he steps back into the cover of night. Dancing with the devil. When you're sure he's gone, you scramble back to the relative safety of your home. You can't make a habit of freezing. There's no telling if you'll ever get this lucky again. Thank you for playing. See you in Chapter 1. Good game. This was amazing. I'm glad I played it. I love this. This is one of the better games I've ever played. So yeah. I don't really have any complaints about this. I think sometimes the music might drown out the voices, but other than that, this is a great game. I'm glad I played it. And yeah, hopefully when Chapter 1 drops, I'll be able to get my hands on that and continue with this game, because I love it so far. Well, thank you for watching. I'll hopefully be able to have some more content at some point in the future. I don't know if it'll be bobvelseb related or not, but yeah, this was fun. This is misswhimsy, signing off.